Last time on Shadow Piece, the Sin of Greed Olympus and his first mate Columbus arrived on the thriller bark. As explorers and scholars, they had to intricately test if Gecko Maria was still alive. Their entire fleet attacked the zombie army of the ship, but when Brook froze the two leaders, the attack stopped. Olympus managed to free himself from the ice prison with pure power. Columbus, on the other hand, was not as strong. The mist coming out of her body slowly disappeared, and after she got freed by Brook, she made the remaining fog dissipate as well. For the Fleet of Death members, this is a joyous occasion, and maybe Maria can help them in their current situation. After a casual dinner, their problem gets brought up. They took a very valuable object from a certain island, and that made them enemy number one of the world government. Daily battles against Marines and Cypherpol agents toughened up the entire Yonta Maria Grand Fleet, but many sleepless nights have exhausted them all drastically. Well, at least all of their respective haki improved, that's a good thing. You could say their greed for survival activated their greed for power, truly the sin of greed. Maria and the remaining members of the Strawhat Pirates easily guessed what sort of object got picked up by the fleet members. The only question was if it would be one of the instructional ones on where to find the historical Poneglyph, or will it be a historical one already? Our Shadow Emperor strives to one day know every secret of the world, so no matter what sort of stone it will be, he has to discover all of them anyways.
I can't wait to read what those ancient people have to say.
Just as excited as a school kid on its first day, Moria stares into the room, only to drop his jaw and scream,
Why didn't you tell me it was a rat?
Everybody is taken aback by the yelling pirate captain, but they also understand how he feels. This is one of the 4 road poneglyphs, and the Strawhat Pirates are already in possession of the other 3. So in this very moment did potentially the first pirate crew after the Rogersbase Pirates collect them all. That means that now the path to Laugh Tale, the island on which the One Piece can be found, has been revealed. Columbus giggles to herself as Olympus panics from seeing the reaction of his leader. If he had known, he would have instantly said it, but he is in fact colorblind, and his first mate jokingly said it was just a blue one. This changed everything. For every pirate, the title of Pirate King is the greatest thing to achieve. And Maria is basically only one single step away. After his side quest war against the Blackbeard Pirates, he will see what the greatest treasure in the entire world really is. The Shadow Emperor picks up one of his fleet commanders and spins him around through the air. This is another joyous occasion indeed, but one thing is still left on their hands: how to transport this heavy stone from the Yonta Maria to the thriller bark. Olympus and his fleet had to use all their strength to carry the ancient object, and that was a land-to-sea transport. Going from ship to ship is going to be way harder. So when a lady he has not seen before steps up, he is taken by surprise. "Captain, let me test my might. I want to carry the stone for you." The Iron Maiden Bronya proudly steps in front of the rest of the group and rolls back her long sleeves. Bulging muscles are out for everyone to see, but will one giant be capable of doing the same as 4,000 humans? Olympus wants to doubt this, as he and his people aren't weak either. Everything going on in front of the Sin of Greed is just mystical. There's no other way to describe this situation. Hearing Maria's story about his devil fruit was already fascinating, but now the Shadow Emperor entered his full Zoan form. It truly feels like a god descended onto Earth. Olympus cannot even imagine how powerful the leader of the Fleet of Death has gotten. With a simple twist of his ever-changing hand, the entire space around them shifts and gets distorted. Everybody in the room feels a slight pull towards a purple vortex that just appeared in the room. The people that spend a bit more time with the recent Maria know that this is a portal, so Perona, Absalom, Sanji, Liv and Brook go through it first, before Maria can even explain what it really is.
Don't worry, Olympus. This won't destroy your ship. This is simply one of my abilities.
The scholar duo of the Yonta Maria stare at the purple whirlpool. At first it looked threatening, but only a bit later did their thirst for knowledge kick in.
From now on, your ship will always be connected to my thriller bark's portal room, just like Wano and Elbaf. This will make it easier to communicate with each other. Bronya, let's go.
As interesting as the portal is, when the Shadow Emperor tells his giant warrior to get going, the Sin of Greed stares at her attentively. Pure power is being shown when Bronya grabs the bottom side of the Poneglyph, and as expected, at first she struggles with the extreme weight. Changing her own skin to metal doesn't add to her physical strength, but covering her arm in haki greatly increases her power. And with that surge in might, the ancient stone slowly gets lifted, much to the shock of Olympus. Her progress with moving the red Poneglyph is not very fast, but it's progress nonetheless. Moria, Olympus and Columbus go before her, as the Iron Maiden needs a good chunk longer than everybody else. This time made it easy for Moria to go to the adjacent room and open the door. Now not only is the mysterious devil fruit locked inside the room inside of a treasure chest, but the road Poneglyph has been safely put behind it. For every other pirate trying to find the One Piece, this actually marks a very dark day. We now know all 4 locations of the road Poneglyphs. One of the island of the Mink, Zoe, which is now being ruled by Queen Carrot and her second in command, Wanda. The next one is on Whole Cake Island and is guarded by the Big Mom Pirates. If anyone wants to get their hands on that one, the moment the war against the Blackbeard Pirates will take place is the best time. The third road Poneglyph can be found on Wano, hidden safely in a place known only by Kozuki Sukiyaki, Gecko Moria, Trafalgar D. Waterlaw, and now the new shogun Kozuki Momonosuke. But the location isn't the only thing keeping the ancient key safe. The fact that the Yonko, Kaido of the Beast, is there as well is another point that keeps people away from the island. Not even talking about the peach-colored dragon that is currently being trained on Wano. And now the last one. Infiltrating the Thriller Bark and defeating the crew might have been possible 2 years ago, but in the time we are living now, the island may even be safer than the high security prison of Impel Down. For anybody starting their journey only now, the task of finding the One Piece and thus becoming the Pirate King has gotten even harder. The remaining day was calm again. Brook and Maria started gathering more shadows, all the while Olympus is with them, holding a script of the Poneglyph now stashed away on the Thriller Bark. Brook fights multiple pirate crews, Maria cuts their shadows out, and the Sin of Greed asks the Shadow Emperor how to pronounce the symbols and what they translate to. One day in the actually not so far away future, a guide to understand the ancient language written by Olympus would get spread around, making the writing of Poneglyphs easily accessible again. But enough about this side. As they continue to sail and collect shadows, the new giant warrior pirates made a long way to an island known as Pulchra, a summer island in the New World. Compared to most islands in this part of the world, it actually is really peaceful. The reason for that might be the protection of the Emperor Red Hair Shanks. Pulchra is mainly known for its fashion and beauty articles. Doskoi Panda, for example, originated from here, but it switched its headquarters to Mirrorball Island sometime after its founding. For the people of this island, seeing giants is as much of a surprise as for anyone else. This race almost never leaves its home island, so they are a really rare sight. Many artists and designers instantly get inspired by their appearance. New fashion and new paintings are being created in this very moment. That they are pirates doesn't matter to anyone, as everybody here is technically under the Red Hair Pirates. For the members of the Fleet of Death, however, this is a very awkward situation. None of them want all that attention. Tyr especially so doesn't know how to handle all the gazes from the humans. If they were fighters, he could at least challenge them, but a brave giant warrior knows to never mess with civilians. That is the worst thing they could do. They came here to meet up with somebody. Finding him should always be quite easy. There is not a week where he isn't in the newspaper. You could call him a real attention seeker. Hyrene and that guy never really got along. It just was a clash of two very unfitting personalities. However, for the sake of the upcoming war, they have to get along and potentially work together. Tyr heard many stories about him as they sailed towards Pulchra, an extremely haughty, prideful, arrogant, boastful and vain person. That could obviously be exaggerated because of Hyrene's personal opinion, but from the reaction of everybody else on the crew, the son of the god of war knows that it was at least close to the truth. In front of them, a crowd of women can be seen. They are all surrounding one very popular guy, and not far from the gathering, a man with straight blonde hair under a large black hat can be seen. That person already noticed the approaching giants. Well, needless to say, his captain also felt the sin of pride arriving. Like the gentleman he is, he gently pushes the woman to the side and greets his acquaintance. "Sin of pride, Hyrene. What brings you here to an island of beauty and fashion? Did you perhaps learn that your brutish ways are not elegant? But with this, I'm going to end today's episode of Shadow Piece. I hope you enjoyed it, because next time we're going to see how the interaction between Hyrodine and the other person is going to turn out. Maybe you can tell me your predictions of who that guy might be. I think it's quite easy to guess, but maybe I'm thinking wrong because I write the entire thing here. But for now, that's all from me for today. All that's left to be said is stay happy, stay healthy, and most importantly, stay cultured. Pyro, out. Bye!